Hello students and welcome back to our English tip of the week. In this video, we're going to just have a bit more of a dialogue than going over a vocabulary word, an idiom, or spotting an English error. What I want to talk to you today about is the importance of reading a newspaper, an actual physical newspaper. I have nothing against reading in English for digital media and listening to a podcast or listening to a song. But there's something different about holding a newspaper in your hand. And this isn't in English, this is in Spanish. I wish I had an English example. But print media has been having a hard time. And I grew up with reading the newspaper, reading books, reading magazines as well. And they're becoming more and more rare. So I want to encourage students of English and even other languages watching this video, especially English though. It's really important to just get a feel for reading a newspaper, flipping through it, going through the articles and everything. It is such good practice. There's so much you can do. You can underline words you don't know. You can translate to your native language. In my case, from Spanish to English here. But you can mark vocabulary, you notice grammar patterns. Especially beginners, it's a little bit more difficult to read a newspaper in English. But there's such a good value in learning from scratch, just building up your vocabulary, grammar, your reading comprehension, starting off with maybe a newsletter, then a magazine, then a newspaper, and then a book. There's kind of levels to physical media. But there's something different about instead of scrolling for your phone, I should say, just going through a newspaper, reading it out loud, going through the articles. I think it is one of the best ways to learn any language, including English. Some of my favorite newspapers in the United States are the New York Times, the Washington Post, and there's a few others, Chicago Tribune, the Boston Globe. Those are the major ones, but there's tons of them. And I grew up as a kid, as a teenager, reading my local newspaper. And, English is obviously my native language, but it takes time, even when you're a native speaker, to read at an advanced level. But especially if you're wanting to just have a slower experience, a more intimate experience with learning a language, there's no better way than picking up a copy of a local newspaper and reading it. And even as I try to learn other languages outside English, there's such a cool thing about reading about people's lives, different stories in sports, in news and politics, in health, in environment. There's so many ways you can bolster your vocabulary, grammar, reading. Even, I think you can even read out loud for your listening how to pronounce certain words and phrases and sentences. So I bring this up because physical media, reading books, reading newspapers, reading magazines is becoming less and less popular. And I have nothing against podcasts, songs, YouTube videos. That's great ways to learn English as well. But I just want you all to remember the value while you can. Hopefully newspapers, magazines never go away, but it's such a good way to learn a language. And it's a great way to understand the country's culture. There's many newspapers across the English-speaking world, not just in the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, South Africa, Ireland. I just wanted to record this video because don't forget to give time. It doesn't cost a lot of money. Sometimes you get a newspaper for free, but it's only $1 or $2, speaking about U.S. currency, but it's pretty cheap to find English newspapers to begin with. And even if it's just a magazine, a pamphlet, or a newsletter, start out small and then build your proficiency up. But again, it's great to take lessons. It's great to listen to music, watching a TV show or a movie. But having something physical in your hand, like a book or a newspaper in English, really makes a huge difference in your learning experience. So I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about that. And it's something that we can offer at English from A to Z, just as a quick plug for my website, our business, I should say. Our teachers can help you walk through these articles, whether online and whether you have a newspaper in front of you. It's a great way to learn by reading newspaper articles, reading them out loud, or reading them online. So again, don't forget, when it comes to reading comprehension, vocabulary, grammar, even listening to yourself speak and practicing your English pronunciation, there's no better way than physical, right in your hands media, such as newspapers, newsletters, magazines, but especially newspapers, which are becoming less and less popular. So that is my tip for this week. My English tip: don't underestimate the value of physical media, especially newspapers. There's real value to it. I hope you incorporate it in your learning plan for English. And again, go to our website, www.englishfromatozz.com, to learn more about how we can help you go further with your English, and also maybe read the newspaper together, whether online or in actual print. Again, my name is Ben with English from A to Z. That's our English tip for the week, and I'll see you soon for another English from A to Z video. Take care now. Bye-bye.